Always disappointing when you come off a defeat, and on top of that, not the first defeat, the second defeat this season in relation to the Soweto derby. It was very important to reset the thinking, to not lay too much in the disappointment of the derby, but immediately look forward. And what is facing us is a team in form, Marumo Gallants, a good footballing team, a team that you have to respect on all fronts, to refocus, to re-energize, to get the thinking of the players clear, just in relation to what task lay ahead, and the one goal, of course, to progress to the next round. It's an extremely important point what you say, that maybe a game we should have won, or should not have lost. And it's on two fronts where we've got to be bolding, and when you're talking about the process and what we're trying to build, and the playing style we're trying to instill in the players, follow the process, take steps, improve as a team, become stronger as a unit, with the ball, without the ball. So the one front is the process, the other front is the results. And the results is also related to building the mentality of the players, being ruthless in certain situations, being ruthless in relation to some matches that you might not play your best, but still get the result, still scrap through. We have a certain identity in relation to, we always want to play in a certain way, but sometimes it's not about throwing those principles away, but sometimes you've got to grind to get the result. How the match plays out, what the opponent is putting in front of you, where they're becoming more physical than you. Now, the idea of wanting to play in a certain way, but not run the ball into the net. Sometimes you've got to score goals that are from outside the box. Sometimes you've got to take responsibility in relation to shots. Sometimes you've got to pass to the teammate that's in a better position. So these decision-making elements are part of it, but this ruthless mentality to win matches. There are matches we see other teams that are coming back from the break, 4 wins in a row, but not playing well at all. But that is the mentality shift that those teams have, and that is what we're trying to build on different levels. The one front is the process, what we're trying to build, not only for now, but for the future, but at the same time trying to get results within that process. Yeah, Lodge did finish the last match. You just got to look into the December period, where we had 8 matches with 2 days between. We were in that period where, that was the period where Lodge came back from his operation on his shoulder. There was big discussions in relation to his minimal standards, and is he ready to play? And with 2 matches every day, there were no friendly matches, so you pass your minimal standards, you're ready now to start playing competitive matches. So ideally you would want him to play at least 45 minutes before you start integrating him into the squad. And we had that game where it was Amazulu. We went slightly ahead of schedule, where we put him in the last 10 minutes. Okay, he's not going to be able to play a friendly match. There are no friendly matches scheduled within that time. So we took the risk in bringing him in slightly too early in December. But it paid off. Within that 10 minutes he created 4 clear-cut opportunities, could have scored himself right at the death. So the huge impact that already he made within the team, and then playing coming back, having then a 4-week preparation time, not your normal 6-week preparation time, what is normal for pre-season. And then being thrown in 90 minutes. There were some matches where we took him off early, the last 10 minutes against Golden Arrows. We rested him for that moment, and of course you saw with the Cape Town City match, we had a slight hamstring niggle. So that when there is a muscle injury, that is certainly the body indicating, hey, that the load is a little bit too much. So we have to be clear in how we handle him. We have this, before our CAF match, Leopards, we have this program of 3 weeks, 21 days, 7 matches, so every 3 days a match. So we have to be clear in relation to how we manage not only him, but the entire squad. He's not yet, if you look at the data in relation to last season, in relation to the season before, certain KPIs, he's not yet reaching that level, but it will come with time. We have to support not only him, but the entire group and manage the group well, that you get the best team on the pitch at all times, not necessarily the best players on the pitch. If you say locally, because we have the 3 competitions that we heavily involved in, the CAF Confederations Cup, playing Leopards on Sunday. The Nedbank Cup, of course, is the next priority. So for us, in our way we prepare matches, is the next match is the most important match. So it has been unfortunate that you win 4 matches in a row and it's not 4 league matches in a row. So you win a Nedbank Cup, you beat Amazulu, you play the next match, you beat Sahura at home, and then the next match is a league match, you draw. So that consistency is what we've got to try to create. Not only win 4 matches in a row, but extend that to 7 matches, 8 matches, 9 matches in a row. And then of that 9 matches, maybe 3 of them will be a league encounter. So you get your 3 wins in a row. You know, in the PSL, if you win 3 matches in a row, immediately you jump teams, you leapfrog teams that are the points difference are so close. So that is what we're trying to do, juggle the competitions, but take it in a way that the next match is the most important match. And every match remaining for the rest of the season, whether it's league, whether it's Nedbank, whether it's CAF, we play to win. No, I don't think it's fair to talk about Gabadinho Mahango again in relation to our strikers. And we talk about Radiopani, Mabasa, Gabadinho Mahango, Jukamanja, Lepasa, and Pepro. At the moment, Pepro has scored in the last match, and you know, it's healthy competition. Lepasa is, whenever he's come on, he's done well. Jukamanja, in the last second of the derby, should have scored the goal. In that moment, Gabadinho Mahango, Mabasa, Radiopani are working extremely hard to push, get themselves not only into the team but into the starting lineup. And like I said last week, it's us coaches to try to find a way. Now suddenly we have 6 strikers available. Is it a moment to change to play 2 strikers and have 4 out? Those are the things we are trying to work on. To find which is the best chemistry in relation to 2 strikers. What type of strikers do you want? Mobile strikers, one that can hold up, one that is more mobile, one that is dropping into the 10 pockets and dribbling, one that has shots from distance. So that is the chemistry we're trying to formulate in relation to where is our team strong in which departments, which that will not affect the balance of the team. So those are the details we are trying to look at to get to solve this goal scoring problem. Yeah, a typical transformation from the way Marumo Gallants. I think they had the players that suits the coach, and Ndlondlo, Ngema, Miguel Tim. Just if you talk about the 3 in the midfield. Being able to rotate, being able to pass the ball and move, a fantastic rotation within that midfield, deep runs from the midfield area. They're on a fantastic run, and they have got a clear playing identity. It's something that resonates with us as well, with slight differences in relation to our intensity we play at and their intensity we play at, the pace, the speed. But a fantastic job what he's done so far, and you can only admire and see a coach's personality, whichever team a coach comes through within the team. And we know we're going to face a tough opponent. It's not a team that really has too much shots on goal for them. So they prefer possession and creating the perfect opportunity. So not a lot of shots against you. Maybe we will face. That has been one of our strong points, not receiving too many shots on target from the opponent. So with Marumo Gallants as well, with their possession-based style, it's about us, how we can implement our style, knowing their weaknesses as well, but a compliment to their form and their coach, what he's done so far. The positives in a match where you've lost, again in the last 10 minutes, conceding a set piece, again one area that we're quite strong at. It's just if you go into the details of the set piece, it's just in relation to the zone, and one player just stepping out of the zone and just opening up that corridor for Mato. There are lots of positives. The first 15 minutes not the best in relation to our ball progression beyond their block in midfield. Compliment to them, of course. They had the full week to prepare exactly how to stop our build-up. But after the 15 minutes, just slight adjustments within our build-up strategy, we were able to come through. We were able to then exert ourselves on Kaizer Chiefs. They were then on the back foot. They were then trying to hold on. And I think for the rest of the game as well, if you start the second half the way we did and create the opportunities the way we did, again, in relation to my first point, building that ruthlessness, building that winning mentality has to be the main point that we have to work on, the main point that we have to turn these draws into wins. If you take the amount of draws, and I don't think there's a draw that we should not have won in relation to the stats, in relation to the opportunities scored, created, shots on target, shots against, and in relation to our dominance, our overall dominance of the teams we've played. So not only Kaizer Chiefs, but any other team that we've played, and it was no different with Kaizer Chiefs. In relation to our expected goals, we were way above. So those are a lot of positives. We can take part one thing, and in relation to my first point I mentioned, change the mentality, change the ruthlessness, change this winning mentality, not only have the process in mind, but create this winning mentality that you're able to score goals and then manage games better. Yeah, like I said, it's about us trying to find the right possibility to play, perhaps with two strikers. In relation to team selection, there are various aspects you look at. First and foremost, number one, are you coming to training? Are you punctual in relation to being at training and not having disciplinary issues that takes you out of selection? Number one, tick, box, tick, box, tick. Now it's in relation to your performance on training, your performance on how you exert yourself on training. We look at how you're performing on training, and then trying to find the right balance in relation to the lineup. And coming back to my first point again, that is about us finding the right possibilities now that suddenly we have. In the first round we did not have, Gabadinho Mahanga was not available. Mabasa was struggling with injuries. He had a run of 5 games in a situation. Lepasa was not available. Pepra was adapting to the South African game in relation to the physicality, in relation to our playing style. Radiopane, first season in the PSL, integrating him in certain matches and seeing the huge potential that he has. Now taking a step back, still training with us, still improving, still in all our training sessions, fighting for a place, and then playing minutes when he's not in the squad and scoring already 17 goals in the DDC. So each player has their role to play. And it's about us finding that moment, that chemistry within the lineup, whether it's with 2 strikers, whether it's with 1 striker, and 3 number 10s or 3 players running beyond the striker. But we need not only our strikers, we need all our players to be able to chip in. Like I said last week, we have our top goal scorer at the moment, Shandu, with 6 goals in all competitions. Hato contributing on the other side. Pepra, who scored now in the last match as well, also on 6 goals. You know, it's about finding that moment for us to think about. Perhaps 2 strikers is the way to solve this, or to find the right possibility for the player that's going to lead the line to bring the best out of not only him scoring goals, him contributing to the overall team structure, and him bringing the best out of other players playing around. Yeah, I said it earlier on in relation to every game being the most important. But if you win all your matches in the league, and that is what we're aiming for, you still have to rely on other results, how it is at the moment. Nedbank Cup, you win all the matches in the Nedbank Cup, you're 100% convinced you're going to get the trophy, and that's what we aim for. And in the CAF competition as well, now it's about getting the 10-point mark to qualify for the group stage, and then win the remaining matches from there. You guarantee the CAF Confederations Cup trophy, and that is what we as Orlando Pirates are fighting for on all fronts. It's not a situation that we have to put the carrot for the players to say these are the competitions we can win. We know these are the competitions we are going for, full out. So it's not to use it as motivation, it's a given. We go to win this Nedbank Cup, we play to win the CAF Confederations Cup, and we play to win all our remaining league matches, and hopefully that gives us the second spot. It's exactly the same like the striker question, the goalkeeper department as well. Mponche has done extremely well, especially while we're in crisis, not having goalkeepers available, Wayne being injured, not having a preparation time in the beginning of Fori with his shoulder operation. And now we're sitting last week. We were hoping Ofori was available for the Cape Town City match, not. Then it was the question, of course, Ofori being available, having 2 training sessions before the derby. Is it too soon? Is it not? But that competition is there. You have to look at the status of Ofori, how he's training, how he's looking, how many friendly matches he's had. He's passed his minimal standards, he's done the rehabilitation plan, and now it's competition. When Sandylands are as well available over the last matches, and all 3 are competing for that spot. Mponche at the moment, as you know, has been doing consistently well. If you take the entire season, how he's performed, it's our strong point. Not conceding many goals, not conceding many shots against. So the goalkeeper, of course, has to be in the game when you're not seeing the ball for 20-30 minutes, and then you're called upon to make one big save. So that department is now fully fit, all 3 competing for a place, and we'll make a decision like we always do in every match for the next match. Yeah, I think that's an important point. You don't want to change our principles and our playing style. Does not change whether we play 3 defense line, 4 defense line, 2 strikers, 1 striker. It does not change. In relation to keeping a consistent lineup, of course you'd want that. You know, where you build that non-verbal communication between the players. I'm coming short, I'm making the run in behind. I know player A likes to receive the ball in the pocket, player B likes to receive the ball behind the defense line. What are the strengths, what are the weaknesses, and building that momentum is one part. A small example in relation to that is, and my statement earlier, the next match being the most important match, Cape Town City, a match coming up. Mosele is on 3 yellow cards. He's been probably our most consistent midfielder, performing at a really high level. Do you take him out and rest him for the derby, or do you play him, risking that he'll get the 3rd yellow? No, you play him, because Cape Town City at that moment is the most important match, and that's how we try to approach it. Try to put the best team on the pitch in every game. Hopefully, it's a team that you do not have to rotate, but in details we look at the fitness data after every match to see the weekly load of the players, to see what they've done previously, how they've trained previously, and are they at injury risk. And then we have to make those decisions in relation to can they play this 3rd match in the week, or do they start and once the game is settled, do we take them off, like the Royal Leopard match? We made 4 consecutive substitutes to rest some players. They had a full week to prepare. When you look at the fitness, you just look at one aspect. You look at our data afterwards. Yes, Kaizer Chiefs, you don't know, their coach was alluding to the soft tissue injuries, that players coming on, players going off, and our players were quite consistent to be able to play at that high intensity for the entire 90 minutes, and that is a credit to the medical and fitness department to have our team prepared. There is a situation, and we had it in December, where you're playing these 3 matches a week. By the 3rd match, the 4th match, and the player goes through that rhythm of playing the 3rd, 4th, 5th match, their bodies adapt and they're able to consistently play at that level. Now it was a period, you saw the Leopards match, the first 20 minutes after our travels to Libya. You saw it in the first 15 minutes of Kaizer Chiefs, and hopefully the 3rd match, 4th match will go through that period and we're able to perform at a consistent level, fitness-wise, for 90 minutes. There's 2 fronts on this issue. Number one, maybe not having the supporters in the stadium is slightly different, you know, than having a full stadium. So that's one part, and the other part is, like you're alluding to, is the social media effect. You know, losing. It's the new generation player immediately after the game, and they're waiting for the press conference to end. All of them are scrolling through their phones, and I'm sure it's not always talking to their loved ones, but scrolling through Twitter, scrolling through Instagram. Who's insulting me? Did I play well? I felt I played well. What are the media saying? What are the supporters saying? You can't stop it, but you can only advise our players not to be too busy with social media. Listen to us in relation to the performance, because there can be a false sense of bias that is out there. One player getting the brunt of whatever it may be, one bias that is there for one supporter, and it just becomes a big thing where it's absolutely nothing. And those details, we can advise the players, don't be too involved within social media in relation to your performance especially. Don't look at what comments are being said out there, rather in relation to us and our video analysis post-match, where we sit with each individual player, where we sit as a group, where we analyze what we did well, what we did wrong, and let's build from there and not social media. I come back to my initial statement about process, building the team, ticking the box in relation to how is the player, how does he handle himself within the group, what is he on time, does he have discipline issues, what is his whole profile as not only a player, a human being. Do you see him in that regard as a future of the club? So at this moment you're building not only for the process long term, for next season, for the seasons to come, but also getting results now. And that balance is important. But coming back to the development of these 2 goalkeepers, we're really blessed to have both of them. We had a Kopano at the moment is injured. He will undergo his 4-week rehabilitation plan to strengthen some deficits to help him in the long term. He has played in the first round more matches than Ayanda. Ayanda has really shown maturity and a huge growth in the 6 months working under our new goalkeeper coach, and he's taken huge steps to be very close to the first team in that regard. So both of them took those steps. Kopano, unfortunately, at the moment is injured, but not afraid, us as coaches, to give the youth an opportunity and play in. And whether it's a Soweto derby, whether it's a game against Sundowns, whether it's CAF Confederations Cup, that's why both of them are registered for CAF as well. both of them taking fantastic steps in relation to their development and are definitely future goalkeepers of Orlando Pirates. It's about us finding the right moment. It's about us not throwing them into the deep end where they're not able to handle it, and then you take 5 steps back in terms of their development. Just finding that right moment, that right balance, and at the moment both of them are what helps in this regard that they are in a similar age group, similar age bracket, so they are not only competition in terms of with Wayne Sandilands, Bonchani and Ofori, 3 experienced goalkeepers that they can learn of every day. They can compete against them, number one, but also they can compete against each other. Also they can look at, hey, I'm the next one, I'm number 4, no, I'm number 4. So that is fantastic in relation to having them both performing extremely well in the DDC now, and the DDC results have spoken for themselves, and both of them taking steps in their development, and definitely both of them have a very bright future, and when the moment comes, you'll see them on the pitch, that's for sure. Our goalkeepers, very experienced, and rubbing off that knowledge that they have, you know, that's invaluable for them to see how Ghana #1 handles himself in this rehabilitation program.